Welcome, everybody. This is episode 11 of The Branding Iron. I have Dr. Dan Wool here from Chambers Medical Clinic, right?
Yeah, Chambers Clinic.
All right, cool. Go ahead and let everybody know, what does Chambers do and what's your background?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Tim. Chambers Clinic is an integrated medical clinic. So I am a naturopathic physician, combining the best of just standard primary care that we're all used to when we go to the doctor with the traditions of the past and the natural wisdom that we all have in the past. So I'm trained as a naturopathic physician. We kind of start on the natural end of the spectrum because we know when we use natural remedies for people, that can get them well more so and more permanently than some of the more familiar medicines that we know out there.
Now, we were talking before we started this, and we went on a long tangent on hockey, which is awesome. Already super cool.
Oh yeah.
But you said that you were in marketing before this, right?
I was. So I had a career in public relations and marketing for 22 years. I worked in Hollywood for celebrities. I worked at .coms and for .com companies when that was going on in the 90s. And then moved here to Arizona in 2004 and worked for a number of firms and also APS here, the power company, for 7 years.
What suddenly we're like, I need to be a doctor?
No, I wish it were that simple. I ended up stressing myself sick. I had a real bad stomach problem for about 3 years, and no doctors could give me a good answer. They would give me medication, and then they give me more medications. I said, well, what's really going on? And they go, don't worry about it. I was told that I was crazy. I would get second opinions. I went to one doctor. She wrote me 6 prescriptions and sent me on my way. And I'm like, there's just something not right about this. And
it almost feels like when you go to a mechanic and they just keep replacing parts and never figure out what's wrong, right?
Exactly. And one of the principles of naturopathic medicine is that we do get to the root cause. It's probably the primary principle. So we know that if we can get to the root cause of what's going on with somebody, that you pull that string and most of the symptoms go away. And I had a friend, and she was having trouble with her thyroid, and she says, you ought to see my doctor. He's really great. So I went up to his office, naturopathic physician, and within they suspected I had something called celiac disease. I was diagnosed very quickly, and just with a bunch of very simple remedies.
So now you're gluten-free, right?
Yeah, I'm gluten-free. Not by choice. It kept me kicking and screaming. I was a home brewer at the time.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
no, what are you doing? And and pizza. Wait a minute. We'd make our own pizza at home and all this. So it was a bit of an adjustment, but very minor. And I was very happy after 3 years of being in pain to know what it was. And just with a few very simple, standard medical tests, and with a few very simple interventions, diet, lifestyle, some herbal remedies.
What causes
it all
that
made
to
me
happen?
better.
Why is it? It seems to be like.
Well, it is genetic.
Okay.
Some people are just born with the disposition to have this allergy. So celiac disease, in my case, it's an allergy to wheat gluten. What happens if I eat wheat gluten? It destroys the lining of my small intestine. The body starts to attack it, and it's kind of like it's like lobbing a grenade in there, and it just kind of blows out this haystack of an area. So the immune system goes after it and then takes a chunk of the small intestine with it. So I have to avoid gluten, unfortunately. Not all people do. There's some people that are sensitive. It's a fad diet out there, but I have to do it. If you have celiac disease, you have to. But, we're genetically predisposed to it. And in my case, I had a number of triggers from stress and other things that, made it really a reality in my life. And it doesn't, some people are genetically predisposed and they never have any symptoms for a lifetime. So it's just the way it broke down with me, but it really destroyed my health and gave me an opportunity to figure out how to get that back. And once I did that and got well and just had my vitality back, I was already in the midst of trying to change careers. And I talked to the career counselor. I said, hey, what about this naturopathic medicine thing? And they said, well, you could do it. You just got to go through 4 years of medical school. So
you're like, all right, no problem.
Right. So save my money. I went to medical school.
Where do I sign up?
I had done a master's degree that went pretty quickly as an adult. And I said, I could do this. And I was very passionate about it, still am. And I think that passion comes through when I see my patients. I decided to focus after medical school when I became a doctor on gut health, specifically on the GI system, help people like me. And I see it show up in a lot of kind of mid-career professionals who are getting a little bit too stressed out, the first place it starts to show up is in their gut typically, and it'll spin off some symptoms.
That's why I love your tagline, fix your gut,
fix your gut, solve your health. Yeah. So one of the things is I went through medical school. One of the things that saved me was a really a clean diet as part of a lifestyle, and that was never disproven as I went through medical school, and certainly now as I see patients when they make small changes.
Did you ever go back to any of your doctors and say,
no.
Like I'm now a doctor because you
I wish
jerks didn't give me the right information.
Well, I wish it were that easy. I think we just look at things from two different points of view.
It's really hard not to, eh?
Yeah, I mean, there's the acute side of things. When you're acutely sick, there's a time and a place for all kinds of doctors, right? Yeah. There's a time and a place for naturopaths, and there's a time and a place for MDs and DOs and other practitioners. But when you're acutely sick and go to hospital, that's, you want those doctors on your side, curing you and getting you stable and getting you out of there. When that starts to trend into a chronic disease, that's where I think naturopaths and other alternative practitioners really shine, because we're able to spend more time with our patients. A typical visit when somebody comes to see me is about an hour. A typical visit when you go to standard medical care, you're in and out of there in within 10 or 15 minutes. And
do you think it's also like the standard medicine treats the symptoms and you're treating the cause?
Exactly. I think that's, a lot of times you can treat symptoms and get things stable. A great example of that is if you get a headache, you just take ibuprofen
or heartburn,
and the headache goes away, or the heartburn, you can take like a Prilosec or something and it'll go away. It's just when those things become chronic. In my case with the heartburn, it went on and on and on for 3 years, and they said, well, take more medicine, and at a certain point it's diminishing returns, and things start to plateau, and that's when you need somebody to say, okay, time out, let's take a look at everything that's going on. We really strive to treat the whole person, and then we start to ask a lot of questions because we want to know, well, what's really causing this, what's going on, what's causing it, and we can fix some of the stuff that would ordinarily be fixed short term. We want to fix that for the long term. So when people come to us, they leave and they've got a game plan on how to get well.
It's funny that you mentioned the ask lots of questions, because that seems to be the normal thing to do in being a doctor.
Absolutely.
And I've taken that approach with the vehicle wraps as well.
Yes. Where
because people come in and they want something, well, why do you need that? Or how long have you been trying? Did it work? How long? It's almost like saying, okay, so your knee's hurting.
Right.
And most places say, okay, cool, we've scheduled amputation tomorrow.
Exactly.
And where we're like, okay, so it's been hurting, and what have you done to try and do that? And did that work? And how long? And okay, so now we're going to think, what kind of logo do you need and that kind of stuff. So
exactly,
borrowed that from the medical field.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I when I was contemplating this as a field, the naturopath that I was seeing had been an Anderson consultant, and I said, what? She said, it's still consulting, it's just medicine. And I was doing consulting on the outside, marketing and public relations. It was the same thing. I would diagnose companies and say, here's the holes in your public relations. Here's the things that are coming up with this product that when you launch it are probably not going to resonate out there. And let's think about doing these things. And it's exactly as you say, Tim, you start asking really good questions.
Or they come to you and you're like, okay, so what's the problem you're trying to solve? Well, nobody knows about this product. Okay, why is that?
Yeah. And then you start drilling down. And, with naturopathic physicians, we're able to, to spend that extra time. We're able to, ask the good questions and really get to the heart of it.
You feel like you're getting, do you get the marketing bug from time to time and you want to jump back in a little bit, or are you just
not really, although, as part of what I do, I have to market myself, and so that's where I do it. But instead of it, I think from what you do is a great brand or a great product is the best promotion there is out there.
Right.
When you have something that just looks great, that really resonates. And I think in naturopathic medicine, that's something that we do. We get people well, and then they're so excited that they finally found the cause of it. They're so excited to be well, and they just go out there and tell their friends. So that marketing these days is really more about passion.
What are you guys doing to kind of facilitate that? Do you ask them to review you, or like all that kind of stuff?
It's really interesting, Tim. We are a 95% referral based system. We've just used referral partners just in meeting people, but 9 times out of 10 it's really our customers our patients getting well and getting so excited about that they tell their friends, and then their friends are coming into the clinic.
Right. So you're not
Dr. Chambers has built the
yeah.
business that way.
Yeah.
We do a little bit of marketing just so people know where we are, but we've really never made a huge concerted campaign. And I think that's a testament to exactly what we're talking about. If you can get people who are passionate about your product, passionate about your service, passionate about what you do, they'll go and tell many people, and then you kind of get that multiplication
It's
effect.
a sign of like an incredible business where you have that high of a referral.
Yeah.
Instead of relying on, you know, Google AdWords or something where
Exactly.
it's just complete commodity.
Yeah, and while we do some of those things,
Yeah.
nothing replaces the real thing. And when somebody has been sick for a long time, and finally they have somebody that fixes the problem, you and I were talking about fixing cars earlier, and it's like, gosh, that knocking and pinging, where's it coming? You can go to 5 different mechanics, and they can replace this part and that part, and it might still be there. When you finally have somebody who digs down, gets to that root cause, makes it go away, alleviates your pain, alleviates your anxiety about the whole thing, then people turn around and go the other way, and they will sing your praises.
So this must be like incredible personal impact, and that's the thing, right? Because
Absolutely.
when you're working on a multi-billion-dollar corporation's campaign, and like, okay, everybody liked it, yay.
Yeah.
But this one person, you've helped them like live a new life. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredibly powerful, and that's definitely the difference. You hit it right on the head about what I was doing before versus what I'm doing now. I do have that personal impact on a one-to-one
like a
basis.
life. You've changed somebody's life.
I've changed somebody's life. You're still solving problems and going through similar thought processes. Now it's more a medical diagnosis and treatment process, but we're able to change lives, especially for a lot of people who are frustrated with the existing medical model or are not getting the results. We're able to jump in, really partner with them on their health, and get them the results that they need.
Cool. And so the clinic specializes, there's several areas, right?
Right. As for myself, I do. I specialize in gut health. Our clinic has specialty in hormones, both for men and women. We also do a lot of pain management. That's a different approach for most people. Most people are familiar, for example, with cortisone shots. When they get pain, that'll decrease inflammation and might reduce nerve irritation, but over time, if you do it a lot, it can be degrading.
Yeah, wrecks your
but we do things
stuff?
Yeah, exactly. And so over time, that can happen. And instead, we do something called prolotherapy and platelet-rich plasma prolotherapy, where we can inject substances that irritate things a little bit more, cause a huge healing reaction in the body, and the body comes in with its own natural powers and heals it on a more permanent basis.
Is that for major injuries, or would you do that?
No, these can be like minor injuries.
I go to the gym a lot.
sprains.
I'm kind of sore. Would that no?
No, I mean, but there's things we can do for that as well. It just depends. Everybody's different. It depends, but definitely a little bit for more chronic injuries. Things like tennis elbow, chronic knee pain, shoulder pain, tendonitis, things that last a little bit longer that haven't seen relief.
I'm going to refer myself to you. I have patella tendonitis. I've had it all my life, and it's kind of painful.
Okay.
Yeah, going up and down stairs is not real fun.
Okay.
But if I do it really fast, then it's over with. So that's why I run up the stairs.
Leap the staircase.
I just run up the stairs.
Yeah, but we'll do things like that. And again, it's working with the body's ability to heal itself, as opposed to suppressing your pain. We're working with the body's ability to heal itself, and when we do that, the body can do it more permanently.
Yeah,
we can get in there and heal it more permanently, and you'll feel a lot better.
Unlike the car analogy, this you can actually heal yourself if you just do the right things.
Absolutely.
Instead of having to replace knees and
exactly
like
and so we have a lot of those a lot of different ideas, a lot of different interventions that we can do out of our office that really help support that.
Cool. Do you guys take insurance?
No, naturopathic physicians are a cash pay operation.
That's right.
We do run standard blood labs. Those tend to be covered by insurance, but the visit costs and some of the specialty tests and some of the treatments are
that's too bad,
cash
right?
pay.
Like they just don't want to put it in the same category, even though it totally solved your situation.
Exactly, but I think the world is changing. I think things are coming around on that. However, for most people, spending the money is an investment in their health, and the investment over the long run is
You'd think that
is
the
peanuts
insurance
compared
would,
to what they would pay.
They'd like to not keep paying for your hospital visits and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know, you said 3 months at this place and you were fixed, right?
Exactly. So
that was a lot cheaper than a lifetime, and you would have ended up in really serious, you would have been in emergency.
Sure. I might be having some sort of stomach surgery or something like that. I mean, that's where it leads. That's not every case, obviously, but where we can prevent those type. So the Hippocratic Oath is first do no harm, and if we can prevent that from ever happening, from having an invasive surgery, from being chronically on a particular type of drug that over the long term might be detrimental to somebody's health. I feel like in naturopathic medicine, that's our first do no harm.
Yeah.
We're very big on prevention. It's not very sexy, but we can make minor tweaks in people's lives that really set them up for long-term health. And that's what it's all about. It's really helping people take control.
So even if you do have to, like you said, that initial investment, right? You're not going to be paying for medicine for the rest of your life, hopefully.
Exactly.
Or losing time at work because of these things and just general discomfort and pain.
Yeah. And it's just a different model. People are used to paying large sums for health insurance, where some people, we just need them to get to think about, okay, I'm going to pay a sum for a different sort of medicine that's going to really take a hard look at what I have going on from every single angle, get to the root cause of what that is, and really get me well more permanently.
Awesome, Dan. I think you've got another appointment coming up real quick. I don't want to be cognizant of your time, respectful of your time. If people want to find out where to find you, where do they find you?
Sure. A few different places on the web. It's chambersclinic.com is our clinic. You can find me on the web at drdanwool.com, DRDANWOOL. I'm also on all the social media as Dr. Dan Wool, same spelling, DRDAN.
Nobody has that name yet. So.
I don't think so. And then same thing on Facebook, Dr. Dan Wool. I have a Facebook page there.
All right.
So find out some more.
Awesome. Cheers, man. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.